Greetings everyone, this is Christopher Kovacs, and welcome back to Railfan Reviews. For the first episode of 2019, we're taking a look at a new kind of model. The Accucraft Gauge 1 live steam engine, Ruby. The Accucraft Ruby was first introduced in the year 2000 as an affordable way for hobbyists to enter the Gauge 1 live steam market. Though not based on any specific prototype, Ruby's design follows closely to that of narrow-gauge engines built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But in order to gain a better understanding of how Ruby works, let's go outside and fire her up. Now, the way Ruby works is not dissimilar to firing up an actual steam locomotive. You need to have fuel first and water before you can go anywhere. And Ruby is filled with water by removing the sand dome, and this little plug on top is where the water for the boiler goes. So, with Ruby filled with water, I also filled up the steam oil from the last time I ran her as part of my shutdown procedure. We are now ready to light her off. As I said, Ruby is butane fired, so you can go to any gas station and find these butane gas canisters to fill Ruby's gas tank up. There are bigger versions that you can get at grocery stores, hardware stores, and the like, but these smaller ones will do for what I need. All right. You fill up there we go. Now when the gas starts kicking back like it did just now, that's a sign that the gas tank is full. So now that we have our gas tank all filled up, our boiler filled with water and oil in the steam oil reservoir, it's time to light her up. To fire up Ruby, you have to do it from the smoke box end. You can't. So we'll open up the smoke box. And you'll notice inside here you have a small pipe of sorts. That's the blast pipe for the cylinders. And that large flue in the back is where the flame will be traveling to the rear of the boiler after we light it off. With the smoke box open, you'll now want to turn on the gas until you start hearing a light hiss come through the boiler. That's a sign that the gas jet is working. It's very faint, but you can kind of hear it. Increase it a little more. Turn the lighter on. All right. Ruby's been lit off. So with the burner going nicely, I'll close her up and we'll wait for her to build up steam. As you're waiting for Ruby to build up steam, it's best to go over all of the moving parts with some light lubricating oil. I've found that 3-in-1 oil works best. So now with the engine simmering away, I'll gently turn the throttle. I have her set for forward motion, and we'll see how she does. Here goes.
Running the train.
Okay, so Ruby has used up all her steam in about 15 to 20 minutes. And here's what you'll want to do at the end of the run. You'll want to take the cap off of the reservoir for the steam oil, because as you're using up the oil in here, water from the cylinders will displace in there, giving you what we call grunge, this oily, watery mixture. And that's why I have this syringe to pipe out what's inside after 15-20 minutes of running. You see all that? Look at that. You don't want this clogging your cylinders for any future runs. So now with all the grunge out of the reservoir, we're going to refill that with more steam oil. Comes in nice bottles like this. You can get it from any supplier, but I highly recommend that you go to a wonderful place called the Train Department. Links to the site will be in the video description. And you just pour it on in. Whenever I see this steam oil pouring in, it reminds me of molasses and puts me in the mind of wanting gingerbread cookies. You want to fill it up, not quite to the top, just give it a little breathing room. Put the cap back on. And that's all set. I can honestly say that I'm very happy with the Accucraft Ruby. She is a ton of fun to run, whether on tracks or on rollers. She can haul a decent amount of cars for an engine her size, and she's got a lot of character. She's a very spunky and sprightly little engine. MSRP for the Accucraft Ruby is $550 to $600 depending on which version you get. The engine comes either as a kit that you can assemble on your own or as a ready-to-run engine like you see here. This Ruby in particular was purchased second-hand from a member of the HO Scale Model Railroad Club that I'm a member of, and I was very lucky to get a good price for it. One final note about Ruby is that if you're somebody who's into kit bashing models, then she is the perfect engine to test your skills on. The tanks on the side are just for decoration. They are completely removable. So if you want to make her a conventional locomotive, be it a tender engine or any other type of tank, maybe a saddle tank even, change up the paint, give her a different smokestack, you can do all those sorts of things. And that's one of the joys of the Accucraft Ruby. As always, if you have any recommendations for future Railfan Review episodes, please leave them in the comment box below, and I may include your suggestion in a future video. If you've enjoyed this program, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more Railfan productions. Thank you all very much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Hey guys, Editor Chris here. Before I close out the video officially, I just want to take the time to thank each and every one of you for helping me reach 10,000 subscribers at the beginning of this year. Knowing that I've garnered this much support over the past several years really does mean a lot to me, and I'm glad that each and every one of you out there enjoys my content. When I got the email stating that I got 10,000 subscribers, it was on a Friday, so that was honestly a great start to my weekend right there. But again, thank you very much to each and every one of you for your support. I'm sorry about my sporadic upload schedule, but of course, my career with the Air Force does come first, and this is a hobby after all. As far as new content is concerned, I'm considering hosting a Q&A live stream at some point in the near future because I have received several questions about things I do on YouTube and outside that hopefully I might be able to answer. And before anyone asks, yes, I plan on being part of the mass cavalcade of foamers that will be descending upon Ogden, Utah when the big boy makes its debut later this year. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, remember to keep on steaming.